So today I'm showing you exactly how to rewire your brain to actually reject alcohol. And it only takes 5 minutes at the moment when it matters most. I'll tell you exactly what moment that is coming up in just a minute. Maybe just last night you told yourself that this was going to be the last time that you're going to do this, and here you are again. When I was stuck in the wine cycle, this was one of my first thoughts waking up after another night of drinking. I was beating myself up again about why I couldn't stop last night. Well, here's the real truth. Your cravings aren't a character flaw. They're a pattern in your brain. But the great news is that patterns can be broken. I'm Jaiden De Luca, and by the time you see this video, I will have surpassed 1 year on my own personal alcohol freedom journey. I've successfully overcome multiple trauma-based addictions myself, and I've been teaching these techniques that you're about to learn to other women. I sure am so glad that you're here today. Let's now insert you right into this story. So the only thing I want you to consider bringing to the table here is your womanly ambition and just a willingness to commit to try your best on this journey. If you truly do want freedom from alcohol, I promise you that you can have it. Without knowing it, you've been neurologically conditioning your own brain to actually want alcohol. And just like you conditioned your brain to want it, with some commitment and practice, you can also condition your brain to not want alcohol. Will you do it beautifully or perfectly? If you're anything like me, then I doubt it. Just a desire for change and believing your life will improve when alcohol doesn't rule you, and a willingness to try is all that you need. Your brain isn't your enemy, it's just been trained incorrectly. Every time you reach for that glass after a hard day, you've strengthened a pathway. And the good news is that those old and outdated pathways can be rerouted, not with muscle and willpower, but with 3 simple techniques you use in the exact moment that your craving hits. 5 minutes and you've just built a little more resilience. Stay with me. I'm about to show you how you can include these techniques into your day. If you're anything like I was, you know the routine. The house could be loud, or maybe it's quiet. The kids are either coming home from school, or perhaps you drink in secret and they're finally in bed. Either way, that voice in your head says, well done, you've made it through another day and you deserve a drink. And now you fall into that familiar pattern because your brain's already been hijacked by the alcohol before you've even had your first drop. But history shows you might end up polishing off the entire bottle of wine tonight. All of those familiar steps you've taken in your evening ritual are all part of the pattern that we're working to break and to shift. The promise of the hit of dopamine you're about to receive awaits you, and that cycle is just going to continue. None of this is your fault though. Alcohol is extremely addictive. But deep down, you know what's coming tomorrow, and the wave of regret hits you like a brick wall. You wake up foggy and you've probably got a sore head. You could be irritable already and dreading the day before it's even started. You tell yourself you'll do better tonight, but tonight comes and the cycle repeats over and over again. I lived in that loop for years and I thought something was wrong with me, that I just didn't have enough willpower and that I was weak. But here's what I discovered, and it changed everything. It was never about willpower. My brain had been trained through years of repetition to see wine as the solution to all of my stress and all of my anxiety, when in fact now I know it was just making everything worse. But the hope in this story is what's already been trained can be retrained. When a craving hits you, your nervous system is already in a state of dysregulation. It's flooded with stress signals and your brain is in a state of overwhelm, looking for the quickest relief it knows, and that's alcohol. But here's what actually calms your nervous system faster than wine ever could, and that's movement. This is the point in the video where I share what this is and how you're going to achieve your goals to change your relationship with alcohol. I'm not talking about a 45-minute workout here. I'm talking about 60 to 90 seconds of intentional movement right when the craving hits. Drop into a deep squat, or if you have mobility issues, a wall sit. Then try holding it until your legs shake. Or if you want, try 10 jump squats or simply change your environment. Remove yourself as quickly as possible from what's triggering you. Get outside, go for a walk. Move your body in a distinct way that feels right for you. What you're doing is giving your brain what it actually needs. That's a physical release for that stress energy that's building. You're now interrupting the old pattern and telling your nervous system that you've got a new way to handle this. I'm not talking about a 6 to 12 month commitment like some other programs suggest. And I'm not talking about meetings or labels or calling yourself something that you don't believe that you are. I'm just talking about simple science-backed techniques that you can use at the exact moment a craving hits. Techniques that literally rewire how your brain responds to stress. And when you repeat them, you build something really powerful, and that's called resilience. Real lasting resilience that makes alcohol lose its grip on you. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share coming up soon is the part that no one talks about. I'll never forget the first time that I tried this. I was standing in my kitchen and the cravings were relentless. And instead of popping a bottle or reaching for my box of fun, I dropped right down into a deep squat, right there on my floor. It felt a bit ridiculous at first, but 2 minutes later, the edge was gone. The urgency for wine had passed, and I thought, wait, that actually really worked. And I want you to also begin creating your very own alcohol freedom journey. These techniques will work for you too. Movement interrupts the pattern, but the next technique is what actually rewires your thoughts. This one might feel a little strange at first, but stick with me. Let's talk about what's actually happening in your brain, and I promise to keep this simple, because I know you're a busy woman and you don't need a neuroscience lecture right now. Every time you've reached for that glass of wine after a stressful day, you've strengthened a neural pathway. So I want you to think of it like a trail in the woods, and the more you walk the trail, the clearer it becomes. So your brain now has you riding the alcohol relieves everything superhighway. It's telling you that wine equals stress relief. But here's the good news, and this is the part that gave me so much hope. Your brain has an ability called neuroplasticity. It can physically rewire itself throughout your life. Yes, at any age. And when you learn new habits or ways of thinking, your brain forms new neural pathways to support them. At the same time, the old pathways you stop using gradually weaken and fade away, like trails in that forest that disappear when no one walks on them anymore. This means you're not stuck with the patterns that you have now. And through repetition and practice, you can literally reshape how your brain works. I want you to know that you and your body and your brain are not too far gone. There's not something wrong with you. You're not destined to fight this forever. You just need to start walking a new trail. So how do we actually do that? And how do we build new pathways in the very moment when every cell in your body is screaming for the wine? I'm going to give you 2 more techniques right now, and they're simple and they're fast, and just 5 minutes in total. These techniques work because you use them at the exact moment that the craving hits. That's when the rewiring begins to happen. So let's go. When your craving voice starts talking and saying, oh, you need this glass of wine, you deserve just one to take the edge off, you're going to talk back, but not as I, you're going to talk back as you. Instead of saying, I don't need this, you're going to say, you don't need that drink. You're stronger than this craving. You are building a new brain right now. You're choosing a new path. This is called second-person self-talk, and there's real science behind it. When you talk to yourself as you instead of I, you create a psychological distance from that emotion. It's like becoming your own coach, your own best friend, and cheering yourself on from the outside looking in. You're seeing things from a whole different perspective. And in that moment when you're hit by your craving, that distance is everything. It gives you just enough space to choose differently. Here's exactly what you can say to yourself tonight when the craving hits. You don't need that. You just need to go to bed. You are not your craving, and this will pass. You are rewiring your brain right now. Keep going. You are stronger than you feel in this very moment. I want you to say it out loud if you can, because there's power in hearing your own voice choose you. Okay, movement calms the body. Self-talk rewires the thought. The third technique. Let's get into that. This one brings it all together, and it's almost too simple, but don't let that fool you. This next part is called box breathing, and it's going to become your secret weapon. Here's how it works. You breathe in for 4 counts, Hold for 4 counts. Breathe out for 4 counts. And then hold for another 4 counts. You're tracing your breath like a box. Repeat this 3 to 4 times. What you're doing is sending a direct signal to your nervous system that says, you are safe. You don't need wine to calm down. You've come so far. Deep intentional breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system. That's your rest and digest mode. It pulls you out of that fight or flight craving state. So here's your 5-minute craving protocol. The craving hits you. You move your body for 60 to 90 seconds. Remember, this is intentional movement, specifically at the moment that the craving hits. You then talk to yourself in second-person self-talk while box breathing for 3 to 4 rounds. Feel the craving rise and then physically and emotionally feel it fall away and dissipate. That's it, 5 minutes. And in those 5 minutes, you've just interrupted an old pattern, created a new one, and built a little bit more resilience against alcohol. And do this every single time your craving shows up. Don't do it perfectly, just do it consistently, because that's where the magic happens, in consistency. Here's what most people miss. And honestly, it's the most important part of everything I've shared today. It's not about doing this perfectly once, it's about doing it imperfectly over and over again. Every single time you choose movement over wine, self-talk over shame, and breath over the bottle, you're literally building a new neural pathway every time. You're not fighting your brain anymore, you're now retraining it. And here's what happens when you stack these small wins together. Things will begin to shift, not just in your cravings, but in your overall health and well-being. You're going to start to see yourself as someone who doesn't need alcohol to cope. You're stretching yourself and you're becoming an empowered woman who has tools at her fingertips that she knows how to use. A woman who is committed to her future and the future of her family. You're proving to yourself that with a little practice, you can be resilient. And that identity shift that you're having, that's when everything changes. You came to this video today looking for a way to rewire your brain, to finally break free from the grip alcohol has on you. So now you've got the tools. 3 simple techniques, 5 minutes total effort at the very moment that your craving hits. Repeat this each and every time you have a craving for alcohol. This is how you build your resilience, and this is how you're going to reclaim your freedom. I want you to hear this, and I want you to really let it land on your heart and in your mind. You are not broken, and you are not an alcoholic for life. You are not destined to stumble your way through every evening forever with no real plan. You are a woman whose brain has learned a pattern, and now you have everything you need to unlearn it starting tonight. To make this all feel real, grab my free 5-day mini reset download. It's in the description below. And if you found value here today and you're excited to see more videos on my channel, then please take a second to subscribe. Alcohol Freedom Journey has more videos coming up on this topic. I also want you to tap the bell icon so that you never miss an upload. So let's recap your 5-minute craving protocol. So movement, try a squat jump or get out of the house and go for a walk. Move that stress energy out of your body by using second-person self-talk. Coach yourself through this. You're taking back control today. You do not need to rely on alcohol. So now we can include your box breathing. That's the 4-4-4-4 method. Repeat this 3 to 5 times. Tell your nervous system you're safe. And repeat this cycle every time your craving hits. Your goal is to build resilience through repetition. You can rewire your brain 1 5-minute craving wave at a time. If this resonated with you, or if something clicked today, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me what's your biggest takeaway today. Which technique are you going to try first tonight? I want you to know that I read every single comment and I respond personally. We're building a community here of women who are done with the old story and ready to write a new one. If you found value in this video, it would mean the world to me that you hit the like button and subscribe, or share my video with somebody that you know who's struggling and really needs to hear this message. I'm here every week with simple science-backed tools that help you build a life where alcohol doesn't control you anymore. This is your alcohol freedom journey, and I'm so glad you're walking it with me. And one more thing, if you're ready to take this deeper and start today, I've created a free 5-day mini reset just for you. It's the perfect next step to start building momentum. And the link is in the description below, so grab it and let's do this together. Before you go, I want to give you one bonus tip that's been a real game changer for me and so many women in our community. I want you to build a daily walking practice, even just 15 to 20 minutes a day, not for fitness, but for your brain health. Walking regulates your nervous system and reduces baseline stress. It also makes you more resilient to cravings before they even hit. Think of it as a maintenance for the neural pathways that you're building. The 5-minute protocol is for the movement when the craving happens, and the daily walk is for building a brain that craves less in the first place. To continue on now to the final day in this series, I want you to click right here for day 5, where we're going to talk about your vision and your next steps. I'll see you in the next one.